Imagine this. You wake up, look out your window, and instead of traffic, you see a massive whale gliding between the jabber with sharks weaving around city buses. Gibber like a scene from a wild sci-fi movie, right? Well, Gibber dive deep into this what-if scenario and see what a city full of ocean giants would look rift. Our transportation would look very different in a city designed for sea creatures like. To start, we'd have to change the landscape of cities entirely. Roads and highways would turn into flowing rivers filled with salt water. Imagine Venice, but on a much bigger, wilder scale. Instead of streets for cars, we'd have large water channels for our ocean friends. Whales would be able to cruise through main boulevards, while sharks would cut sharp turns around skyscrapers. But think about the challenges. How would we cross the street with a shark swimming by? Skyscrapers would need to be more than just tall. They'd have to be watertight. The buildings of the future would be designed with extra thick glass and waterproof entrances, so workers and residents could watch these creatures swimming outside their windows. Imagine standing at your office desk and seeing a whale's enormous eye looking in. There'd even be floating elevators, so people could get a closer view of the marine life while still staying safe. Having whales and sharks as our neighbors would be a total game changer. Sharks are usually calm around humans, but they'd probably give everyone a good scare now and then with their sleek, shadowy movements. And think about whales. They're gentle giants, but what if a humpback whale decided to sing a whale song at midnight right outside your building? That deep, echoing sound could lull the whole city to sleep, or keep us all wide awake. In a city designed for sea creatures, our transportation would look very different. Forget cars and buses. We'd have specialized water taxis designed to zip between schools of fish or even dodge a curious dolphin. Jet skis would be the new bicycles, and maybe submarines would be as common as taxis. The most adventurous might even try shark surfing, harnessing a shark to pull them across the city's watery streets. But with all this excitement, we'd have to consider the balance of city and nature. Whales and sharks need a specific ecosystem to survive: salt water, food sources, and areas to breed and rest. Cities would need to be filled with coral reefs and seaweed beds, providing food and shelter. But what about pollution? Cities can be messy places, so we'd need advanced cleaning systems to keep the waters clear for our oceanic neighbors. Conclusion: so what if whales and sharks really lived in the middle of our cities? Life would be an amazing blend of ocean and urban, filled with surprises, challenges, and perhaps a new level of respect for these majestic animals. As strange as it seems, this thought experiment reminds us of one important thing: the incredible beauty of ocean life and the need to protect it. Because while a whale in the city is a fun what if, the reality is that our actions can make a big difference in keeping these creatures safe in their real home, the oceans. With whales and sharks as part of the cityscape, entertainment would take on a whole new meaning. Imagine stadiums with giant glass walls where fans could watch whale performances or shark races. Aquatic sports would be on the rise, with people training to dive with dolphins or free dive alongside whales in specially designed aquatic arenas. Even common sports like surfing would get a twist. City surfing would mean catching waves created by whales as they swim by, and underwater obstacle courses would test people's agility against the swift currents of these creatures. The presence of sea giants would inspire a shift in the city's food culture too. Seafood might be less popular, as people wouldn't want to feast on their new neighbors. Instead, there would be a surge in ocean-inspired dishes that focus on plant-based alternatives and sea greens. Restaurants with giant glass floors and walls would allow diners to enjoy their meals while watching sharks and whales swim by, creating an unforgettable underwater dining experience. Chefs would get creative with sea-inspired dishes, using flavors and ingredients from the ocean in a sustainable way. Tourists would flock to cities to experience life with marine animals up close, which would transform urban tourism. Hotels would offer underwater suites where guests could sleep with views of sharks patrolling the streets below. Tours would include whale-watching bus rides, with waterproof buses designed to submerge halfway into the water channel so people could see whales right from their seats. The city's tourism industry would boom, with guided tours, interactive aquariums, and even underwater museums. One of the greatest benefits of living side by side with these majestic creatures would be the increase in awareness and appreciation for ocean life. Schools would have classes dedicated to marine biology right in the heart of the city, with real-life examples swimming by their classroom windows. Kids could grow up learning about the importance of ocean conservation from an early age, developing a sense of responsibility for protecting their aquatic friends. The city could even have monthly Clean the Waterways events to ensure the sharks and whales have a healthy, safe environment. Living with whales and sharks in the heart of a city may be a dream, but it reminds us of the vital connection we share with nature, even in urban settings. This fantastical idea could spark new ways to bridge the gap between people and the natural world, encouraging city planners, environmentalists, and everyday people to think about how we can design cities that respect and integrate with the environment. In the end, while this vision may not be possible, the imagination it stirs can inspire us to take real steps toward a future where both urban and natural worlds can thrive side by side. So next time you look out your window and see the bustling city streets, try to picture them filled with whales gliding through the waterways and sharks cruising beside them. It might just make you see the city and the ocean in a whole new light.